Afghan President Hamid Karzai is upping his anti-Western rhetoric, despite the fact that the United States is pouring billions of dollars into his country. Just yesterday, Karzai threatened to join the Taliban, if the Afghan parliament doesn't support his effort to resist U.S. and UN control. The threat comes alongside reports that the Taliban is dominating some areas of Afghanistan despite a concerted effort by United States Marines to win over the local population. Meanwhile, the American-led military command in Kabul says it has admitted to killing 2 pregnant women and a teenage girl during a NATO raid back in February. For more, let me bring in Robert Greenwald, founder of Brave New Films, the production company behind the documentary series Rethink Afghanistan. Mr. Greenwald, does any of this news come as a surprise to you? Mr. Karzai, for lack of a better term, seems to be a turncoat on the United States.
Well, Mr. Karzai is a corrupt leader who is detested by most of the population in Afghanistan. I'm surprised that he went so far as to say he would join the Taliban if we didn't do what he wanted. But I'm not surprised at his attitude, Ed, because this is not somebody who rules democratically. It's really important to remember these are not good guys over there, this administration, this government, and the only reason he's in power is because of our money and our muscle behind him. And that's a huge, huge mistake for the security of the United States, for the safety of the United States, and for the people of the United States.
So, Mr. Karzai, I think about him being at the State of the Union when George W. Bush was president and the accolades that the Bush administration gave towards Karzai as the future of Afghanistan. What do you think now?
Well, I don't think he was ever the future. He was barely the past, because remember, his brother is a warlord. He's on the payroll of the CIA. They stole the election with over 1 million ballots that were not accurate. And the thing that we need to ask ourselves is, what are we doing there? If the leader of that government is saying he's going to join the Taliban, why are we spending $300 billion on that war? Just think about this for a minute, Ed. We could have bought 46 million scholarships for people to attend college for a year on what we've spent in the war in Afghanistan. That's a travesty, and it's time to get out.
What does it do to the Obama administration logistically? How do they pivot to make the right move if they're not going to get out? I mean, the president is committed to fighting terrorism, and this is the big footprint in the world right now for the American troops to do this. How does the Obama administration make sense of this and pivot around this?
Well, fighting terrorism is an important thing, but you don't go and occupy a country, a Muslim country, where you then make more and more enemies. You referred to the story before. Those 2 pregnant women who were killed by the forces, Ed, one of them had 10 children and the other had 6 children. They were part of a party of 25. Can you imagine what we are doing when those people are killed by our forces in night raids? That's not a way to effectively protect us or battle terrorism. That's a recruitment tool for terrorism. And we remember, even General Petraeus has said, Al-Qaeda is no longer in Afghanistan. Why are we there?
What do you think the Democrats will do with this news now that Karzai has talked about joining the Taliban, now that he's threatening other people in the country and positioning himself and his government against the United States? What would be the majority party's move? What do you think?
Well, I think what they should do, and we've been talking about this at Rethink Afghanistan and the work of Derek Crow and Jerome Starkey, who've uncovered this cover-up, is to say there should be an immediate investigation. They should not be up that will have $30 billion attached, and they should be asking themselves, why are we spending $200,000 every minute? Every minute. I
want to switch subjects if I can, Mr. Greenwald, because you put together the documentary Outfoxed. What do you make of this most recent volley between Limbaugh and the president?
Well, I think that it's consistent with the whole approach, which is smear, attack, name call, and sadly, Ed, there is literally no truth anymore in what Limbaugh is doing, if there ever was. I should paraphrase that. And we need to be very aggressive about it, because what Fox does, what Limbaugh does, is, we talked about this last week, they repeat over and over the same distortions.
Mr. Greenwald, good to have you with us tonight. Thanks so much.